And Lord, even as we're about to listen to your word this morning, Lord, I ask you that you take possession of my mind and my mouth, and everything I will say will be according to your will, Lord, in Jesus' name. And even as the child listening to your word, that our lives shall not remain the same. And I also pray, Lord, that your spirit will dominate this place, and that everything we do shall be according to your will, in Jesus' name. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, we pray. Amen. Let us have a listen. Praise the Lord. Our topic for today is the greatest commandment, and it's taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. In that place, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13 says, "Meanwhile, these three things remain: faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of this is love." Before verse 13, while Paul was writing to the Corinthians, he was talking about the other gifts of the Spirit. And he actually said that the other gifts are going to vanish, but even after those ones vanish, faith, hope, and love are going to remain. And out of those three, faith, hope, and love, he said that love is the greatest. So before we go on, I would like us to, go through the definitions of these three words so that we'll be able to understand them better. Faith, according to the Bible, in the book of Hebrews, especially chapter 1, is defined as the assurance of things hoped for. And the Amplified Bible actually defines faith as to have abiding trust in God and His promises. And hope for us as Christians means to have confidence in expectation of eternal salvation. And love means to have unselfish love, that is unselfish feelings for others, which grows out of God's love for us. So when Paul said that the greatest of these three is love, I'll break what it means into two. First, it means that without God's love for us, we are nothing. And that is, the love God has for us actually made Him call us His own. And if we check the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "Behold, what manner of love the Father has given unto us, that we should be called the sons of God." So that actually implies that without that love, what are we called? We are nothing, right? So at the second one, and that one actually explains that love is the bedrock of Christian faith. So without love, Christianity is not something that would actually exist now. And the second one that it implies is that without love, whatever hope we have is nothing. The hope we have when we love God, as I defined hope earlier, is the confidence that we expect eternal salvation. And that cannot be possible if God did not, send Jesus Christ. If Jesus Christ didn't lay down His life for our sins. As said in John 3:16, He sent His Son for our sins, and that made us have hope of eternal salvation. And I would like us to look at it in this way. God has actually set the pace for us. He loved us unconditionally. And as His children, we are supposed to do the same thing. So we are supposed to love everyone that comes to us in an unconditional manner, no matter what they do to us. And let's just, if we love other people unconditionally, it actually means we are reciprocating the love God has for us towards mankind. And let's just look at it from like a real life experience. If a guy comes to meet, let's say, Mercy, and says he loves her, and actually professes his love to her, he expects her to also be able to reciprocate. If she doesn't do it, that love is going to die. He expects her to, let's say, if he sends messages, she does the same thing, she calls, or she expects him to call, be faithful and all that. So in the same way, if we want to have a relationship with God, we should reciprocate. And going back to the example of a boy and a girl relationship, if a boy and a girl do not reciprocate love, the relationship cannot occur. And even if it occurs, sometimes they might actually, let's say, end up breaking up if it doesn't work. But then let's leave that aside, we'll come back to it. So we said for us to be able to show our love to God, we have to reciprocate it. So the question now is, how can we reciprocate our love to God? I would like us to open our Bibles to John chapter 14, verse 15. John chapter 14, verse 15. Jesus said that, He said, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments. And that implies that if you don't love me, you will not keep my commandments. And if you don't keep God's commandments, there is no way you would have a relationship with him. Because you will not know what he wants, you won't be able to talk with him, and that relationship cannot work between you and God. And actually, some people may actually say that what God is asking is too much for us. No, what God is asking is not too much. Looking at ourselves as men, we expect more from ourselves than God actually expects from us. And as I said earlier, a guy and a lady in a relationship will expect them to call each other often, send texts often, and do all those things. And as men, our standards actually change because our needs change. The need I have today is not the one I will have tomorrow. But in the case of God, his standard has been the same thing since the beginning of the world. The only thing he needs is you keeping his commandments. And if you do that, you will be in line with him. And you know, when Reverend Kule Sanami came, he said one of the, I think the first cause of marriage failure or something in North America is unmet needs. And it's actually true. So I'm not like, if unmet needs can cause marriage failure on earth between men, so that means that if we do not do the will of God, it can actually cause us not to be able to have a good relationship with him. And looking at it from the human perspective too, if you, how would I put it? If let's say a man and a woman's relationship is not working well, most times we actually come together and say, let's reconsider things. And if things don't work out, most people end up parting ways. And men usually give up on time if a relationship just doesn't seem to work, let's say at the first few glances. But with God, it is not like that. There is nothing for you to reconsider. As I said earlier, he already has standards which cannot be changed. And again, he doesn't give up on us. He's actually waiting patiently for us to come back, turn around to him and change our ways. And you know, hopefully, we don't run out of time because we don't have so much time. So, in order for us to make our relationship with God work, we don't have to reconsider anything. He already has standards for us. And I would like to use another example. You know, as I said earlier, men's need change, but God's need doesn't change. And if a man doesn't get what he wants from a woman, most times they separate, they break up. And I tell you, you don't want to break up with God. You don't want God to break up with you, because if he breaks up with you, if you both break up, then I don't know what the essence of life is going to be, or the essence of life even after this earth. And a guy can actually break up with a lady and get another one. He can get another good one. But if you break up with God, there is no other God. He's the only one. So you don't have any other choice. That means you're just going to be there. So it's really important for us to focus on our relationship with him, and then to focus that we love him. And how can we show that we love him? We have to keep his commandments. And I also have this example that if a guy has, let's say, I'm using human examples as a guy and a girl, so that we'll be able to understand better. So another thing I said is, if a guy has a good girl, men today hold on to good ladies, good women that they find. So in the same way, I would implore us to be able to just hold on to God. If you have him already, don't let him go, because you won't find another good one. You won't find another God, as I said earlier. So let's open our Bibles to Matthew chapter 22, from verses 34 to 40. We don't have to read it, but I could just explain what happened there. Are we there? Or for clarification, I will just read it. It says, when the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they came together, and one of them, a teacher of the law, tried to trap him with a question. Teacher, he asked, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and the most important commandment. The second most important commandment is like it: love your neighbor as you love yourself. The whole law of Moses and teachings of the prophets depends on these two. Amen. So Paul actually knew what Jesus said, because he studied the Bible, as we all know. And he knew that, okay, every other gifts are going to go, but then our faith, our hope, and our love are going to remain. And he said the greatest is love, because love is actually the bedrock of you being able to have a faith and hope that's not empty, or that will not result to emptiness, which actually signifies nothing. And that was why he said that even if I have the gift of love, if I have the gift of prophecy, gift of faith, and I have love, I am nothing. And that actually explains to us that if you love God or have love, it will affect your faith in God. And it's going to help you, and your faith in God is going to help you to live a just life. You know, as ACOR wrote in chapter 2, verse 4, where God revealed to him what was going to happen at the end, that verse says, those who are evil will not survive, but those who are righteous will live because they are faithful to God. Those who are righteous will live because they are faithful to God. In other versions are written, the just shall live by faith. So that verse, the explanation is actually, those who are evil, they are evil because they do not love God. And if they don't love God, they won't be able to do things that are right, and then they will not survive. But those who are righteous, they are righteous because they love God, and then they will live because they are faithful to God. And you know, I said earlier also that love is the bedrock of Christian faith. And it's also written in the book of Hebrews 11 verse 6, that without faith, no man can please God. I would like to read that verse with us to just buttress the point. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6. It says, no man can please God without faith, for whoever comes to God must have faith that God exists and reward those who seek him. Hallelujah. Amen. So, the third thing it actually implies is that if you love God, I'm connecting faith and hope to love now. So if you love God, you will have hope in him, which, you know, I defined hope earlier as the confidence of eternal salvation. So you have hope in him that you are going to be eternally saved, meaning if you love him, you will please him, and you will be rest assured that doing his will, you are going to make heaven. And you will actually look forward to it, and it's going to affect the way you will live on earth. You will live a godly life, you will live a life that pleases God, you will obey his commands, because you know your hope of eternal salvation depends on that love of God. The love of God for you, and you showing that love to man. Hallelujah. So Paul actually wrote these things, and he said love is the greatest, because he understands that love makes all other gifts worthwhile, especially the other two that are going to remain forever, that will not vanish. So to actually show us how the word love is used, I would like us to define love in the Greek terms. So there are 4 Greek words that define love. One is agape, the other one is philia, the third one is eros, and the last one is torch. The agape love is the love of God. Some other versions of the Bible call it charity. It is the love of God for man and man for God. The eros is erotic love, intimate love between partners. The philia one is the feeling of friendship, the one between equals. And the last one, storge, is affection, especially between parents and children, which actually also means natural empathy. The empathy parents have for their children, the natural empathy. So I actually explained and listed those words so that we will see that love covers every aspect of human life, ranging from our work, our friendship, our relationship, our families, our parents, our children. And the basis of all those is in the Word of God, which is agape love. So the love of God for us will compels us to be able to love other people around us. Do we get that?
Yes.
Yeah. So as God's children, we must love the same way God loves. God loves us unconditionally no matter what we do. He loves us no matter what happens. So that is the same way we are supposed to relate with people, because his love for us is the basis for every other love. Let's say every other love, do I call it a relationship, that we engage in. So you cannot say that because somebody offends you, you will not forgive the person. Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. Let's let's say you offend yourself or you do something you do not like. You cannot say, oh, because I did something I don't like, I will starve myself forever. You cannot do that. So why would you do that to your neighbor? And you say, because my neighbor did something that doesn't please me, I will not talk to him again. I will not do this. I will not converse with him. It is not supposed to be amongst us as Christians. We are supposed to love our neighbors as we love ourselves in the love of God for us. Amen. So now directing my talk back to the youth, let's now relate real life and Bible, like let's relate real life to Bible again the second time. So I'd like us to go back to that 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Looking at it from verse 14, where Paul was listing to us the attributes of love. I would like every one of us to open to that chapter of the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and we will be reading from verse 4. From verse 4 through 7. It says, love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or conceited or proud. Love is not ill-mannered or selfish or irritable. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth. Love never gives up, and its faith, hope, and patience never fails. Amen. So, and you know, I think I said earlier, I can't remember if I said earlier that I was going to give the differences between a man that wouldn't give up on you if your love with him fails, that's in the human relationship, and a man that would give up on you. So, this verse we actually read lists the attributes of love we should operate in. So if you are in a relationship with a person and they say they love you, do not continue in that relationship, or don't even enter the relationship if they don't possess these attributes. The Bible is our standard, so we have to live by it. So if that person says they love you, and they don't, let's say, obey the word of God, they don't obey the word of God because they don't love God. And if they don't love God, there is no way they will love you. You know, 1 John 4:7 and 8 says, beloved, let us love one another. For everyone that loves is born of God. He that loves not, knows not God, or knoweth not God, for God is love. So if someone doesn't love God, the person doesn't experience what God for man is, the person cannot pass down that love to you. So whatever you do then is not divine love. So for us to be able to have the right basis, we have to understand who God is, love Him, keep His commandments, and every other thing falls in place for us. Amen. So, you know, I said earlier that if they don't have these attributes, do not. If the person is not patient with you, if he or she is not patient with you, if they are not kind, if they don't endeavor to help, if they are jealous, if they are conceited or proud, if they rejoice in iniquity or anything that doesn't please God, if they give up easily, if they don't hope for something better, if they don't endure patiently through your strengths and weaknesses, then it's not something you should go into, because it's not written in the Word of God. And also, if it's, you know, verse 7 says, love never gives up, and its faith, hope, and patience never fails. And I define patience as trust, assurance in things we hope for, right? Trust in promises. So if the person promises you, start promising you something, and they fail from time to time without tangible reasons, then you know this is not something I should go into. Also, if its hope fails, and I define hope as expectation of having eternal salvation, and on earth it can actually be defined as having a future together. So if, let's say, if they say next this thing I'll get married to you, and something happens and they say this one I can't do this, or they actually promise you stuff for the future and they don't keep their promises, then it's actually something you should reconsider and come back to. So if it is God's love, if it is love according to the will of God, it will fit the word of God. Hallelujah. Amen. So what am I saying? And I will repeat again. If you are in a relationship with someone and the person doesn't love God first, they will not love you the way God wants you to be loved. They will not love you unconditionally. If they cannot stay loyal to the God they cannot see, people usually say that there is no way they will stay loyal to you, there is no way they will stay faithful to you, that you are near them. And if they cannot hold on to God, they are liable to give up easily, and you don't want a Lord that would give up on you easily, because you're actually not. We don't attain perfection in a day. We go there step by step. So if someone cannot actually walk through with you through the process, then it's not something you want to go into. Amen. So, in my process of trying to round up, I will just tell us that if you and I actually take time to learn the commandments and obey them as Jesus said, love with all your heart, all your soul and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself, we're actually going to, soar high in Christ and live the kind of life God wants us to live. And also, I would like us to note that if we choose to follow the commandments of God, most times we'll do things differently from the way every other person in the world will do it. Because not everybody actually goes by the standards of this Bible. And the standard of the Bible is different from the standard of the world. And let us put at the back of our mind that we are in the world but not of the world. So things we do are going to be different. Ranging from, let's say there are lots of people in this world today that have money, have cars, have this, have that. If you want to live by the commandments of God, you might not have riches as much as they do. Because you will not do what they do. Most people outside, they actually get this money from dubious means. And you don't want to involve yourself in that because you want to make sure that everything you do pleases God. Everything you do streams out of the love of God in you to your neighbor, and you want to make them happy in the love of God. So you don't want to do anything to step on people's toes. Hallelujah. And also as youth, we might not actually have, let's say, every exotic materials in life, but then don't be bothered because the Bible says in Matthew chapter 6 from 19 to 20 that our treasures are not what? They are not on this earth. So whatever you do, if you begin to, pile up your love for your neighbors, for people around you, you're keeping something for yourself in heaven. And Jesus said, when he was telling them, when he was talking to people, and they asked him, and he was like, when I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was in prison, you came to check on me. They asked him, when did we do all these things? And he said, as much as you do it for these people, you are doing it for me. So don't let us see it as, how would I put it? If people cannot, don't let us see it as, I don't have anything on the earth. Let's actually focus on the hope we have, the hope of eternal salvation. And something just dropped up in my mind right now, that most people, let's say, in the church, it's very common, people say, when they see people do something in church, they're like, this person loves the Lord, this person does this person does that. But then let's look at it, do they really love God? And are they actually living according to His commandments? Hallelujah. So, and another thing I would like to tell us as youth is that concerning the relationship aspects leading to love, you may not be in, let's say, a relationship at the time every other person around you will be in a relationship. And most youths actually that do not live by the standards of the Bible jump from pillar to pole in a relationship. And those ones that do not actually jump from pillar to pole, let's say if you look at it well, the relationship is not according to God's word, and some things are actually missing. So if you take your time to actually love God first, know Him first, know that, oh, this man is the originator of love, you are actually going to build up that love attributes inside you. And then when you're ready to go into a relationship, it will affect you, and you're going to do very fine, as long as you live according to His standards. Amen. So, I'll round up here, and going back to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, again it says, meanwhile, these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of this is love. And let us remember that if we love God, we will keep His commandments, love our neighbors as ourselves, and love Him with all our hearts, our soul, and mind. Amen. So even as we round up, I just want us to bow down on our heads and begin to ponder on, if there is anything I said that caught your attention, just ponder on it and ask God to help you. And it's actually going to be very beautiful if every one of us could actually obey the law of God, because our lives are going to be really blessed. And I just want to tell us that loving God starts from accepting the gift of His Son, the gift of love He gave us through Jesus. So I just want us to again rededicate our lives to Him. Or then if you want to surrender your life to Him, just surrender to Him and say, Lord Jesus, I accept You into my life as my Lord and Savior today. And let us ask Him to help us, grant us grace to be able to keep His commandments and love other people around us.